Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, so in this video, I want to talk about what to do when it sucks and you're stuck, right? So there is this time when you start and you're excited and you want to do deals and you want to get going, you're getting information, right? And then there's that midpoint between the suck, I call it, and then the journey until you actually get to a destination, the freedom, the lifestyle, everything you want. So there's that middle point where most people give up and quit. So I want to talk about what to do within that point where you're excited about it, but you're in the middle of it. Now, I recently drove my daughter's car from Nashville back to Phoenix, and started at Nashville and was going to Phoenix, and there was a lot of suck in between, which was, Texas completely flat, Oklahoma completely flat, not a lot to look at, but I was in that midpoint, and I'm going to talk about in a journey, and you're going from point A to point B, that middle point. I'm going to talk about how to what it's like being in that middle point. I'm going to talk about what to do to get out of it. I'm going to give you actually an exercise that you can work on to get out of that, that point, or to give you a different perspective. And I'm going to give you like some different things you can do on a daily basis to get you out of it quicker. Now, this is going to be a 4-part series because I actually did this. I recorded a coaching call recently. It was about an hour and a half, a 90-minute coaching call. So I'm breaking that coaching call up into 4 segments, and I'm going to let you kind of in and listen to the coaching call that we did. So this is part 1. There will be part 3, 4, or 2, 3, and 4 that you can listen to. And I'd love to hear your feedback because, anytime you start something new, there's the journey, the stuff in between until you get to a destination point where you have the success that you want. All right, so let's watch the intro and then we'll get into it.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my.
I want to talk about the point in time, maybe, because it happens to everybody and it happens to me, when it's not working, when you believe you're putting forth the effort, and you're just in the middle of the struggle. So you have this dream, you want to be successful, you want to wholesale houses, you want to sign contracts, you want to get deals, you want to be able to hire people and build a business and be able to have, and for me, it's not about all the stuff. It's more about the freedom. I just love having the freedom that I can be on a call with you guys at 11 o'clock, in the afternoon when most people have to go to work. I don't look at this as work. I look at this as, I love doing these things. I love doing, calls. So the question becomes, you start out on a path and you either see a success story or you hear about wholesaling houses, you hear about real estate investing, and you get excited about it. And there's that excitement behind it. And maybe you bought a course and you get started and you start learning it. And then there's the application process. And then there's the middle process where you're doing things and you're not getting the results just yet. And you're in that middle struggle, before you break through to the other side and either get your first check, or you're at a point to where you are consistently every single month, doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 a month in revenue, and you have a business that's being built where you don't have to be there. Like I was a week in Nashville, and we got leads coming in, contracts being signed, contracts, properties being sold, money being wired, everything, the system ran without me. 2 or 3 weeks before that, I was in Rosemary Beach, Florida for 10 days, vacationing. Daughter's family came out, and literally I maybe got 2 phone calls during the entire time I was there. And, we were doing more business, contracts signed, stuff like that, without me being there. And that's what a true business is. So you got the starting enthusiasm, excitement of this is what I want to do. And then there's the destination and the steps of getting your first check, scaling up your marketing, doing the business, and getting to a point where you do have, freedom, and you've got a business that's generating revenue. So that is about, if you follow like Bear Market Millions, you follow 100K Wholesaler, you can really speed up your success if you join Six Figure Syndicate. That kind of amplifies everything. But the bottom line is you start here and you want to be here. You want to be to this freedom side of the, side, but there's that middle section. So I drove my daughter's car last week from Nashville, Tennessee, back to Arizona. So I set a destination, and I was going to be back to Arizona, and I had a starting point in Nashville, Tennessee, and I had, I put the coordinates in, and it basically, I don't know how many hours it said, but it was about 2,000 miles, right? 2,000 miles. So I got in the car, had the GPS, had the Google Maps on, going, and I, just started going, and I stopped in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And then I went to, then I stopped in Amarillo, Texas. But the bottom line is that there is that middle point from the starting point to achieving the end result, that middle point. And that middle point is the barrenness of Texas, right? It's like, Texas was literally barren, and there is flat, and there's nothing. So you might be right now in the middle of your destination from where you are to where you want to be, at the middle point where you're in, or maybe you're just starting, or maybe you've been doing this for a while and you really haven't got to success yet. And you're in that barren time of, in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, you feel lost. You feel like, am I doing the right thing? You might be spending money on marketing and spending time and energy on this, but not seeing any money or results. So then you question yourself, am I, is this really for me? You talk to a seller, and you maybe talk to them, and you screw up the conversation or whatever, and they yell at you, you're just, lowball offer. What are you doing? You're trying to, dealer's trying to steal my house. Now, what happens is we go through a point when we make a decision that this is what I want to do. And then there's that barrenness, that barrenness, that suck, that time in between, all those hours I spent on the road from Nashville to Phoenix, all that, it didn't feel like I was productive. Now, the interesting thing is, in a car, you can see the miles ticking down. Right. So it starts at 2,000, then it goes to, 1,800, then it goes to 1,500. So you see progress that you're moving forward. In this business, you don't. In business and in life, you don't. You don't feel, sometimes you feel like you took 2 or 3 steps back. Sometimes you're questioning, is this the right decision? Am I making the right decision to do this? And I can tell you, I have over the years have, had struggles of where I questioned, am I doing the right thing? Is wholesaling? Should I do wholesaling? Should it be, should I spend my time and energy? Because you will be in that point in time where it's not going to work, and you're doing things, and you're trying marketing, you're texting, you're cold calling, you may be talking to for sale by owners, you might send a small direct mail campaign, you maybe got your PPC ads, and you got $5 to $10 a day, and you get maybe a trickle, a lead here and a lead there that comes in, and you talk to them, and one's listed and the other one's a spam. You're in that middle point where it sucks. Right. And we're all going to contemplate quitting. We're all going to question ourselves. We're all going to question, is this the right business? Should I do it? And then at worst, you're going to talk to friends, family, relatives, and you're going to get their opinion. My father-in-law, love him. He's great. He's like, are you sure this is right for you? My wife at points, my wife is like, is this really what you should do? Maybe you should do another business. Maybe you should do something else. And I'm like, no, this is it. And I'm, and I can tell you that I haven't talked about this, time in the suck a lot, you know what I mean? And I think I should, just because there is a lot of time spent there. There is a lot of time spent in the suck. There's a lot of time in that reevaluation. So I wanted to talk about, what I do in the suck. And you don't know you're moving forward, you're questioning yourself. You're kind of alone, in your own office doing I remember I'd be in my office by myself. I'd have no leads. I'd have no contracts. I'd had, no marketing that was going out or anything like that. I had no deals that were closing. I had no pipeline revenue. I had no employees. And it was me in my office, I didn't have an office. I had my house, right? I had a makeshift office I made. And I'm in my house by myself trying to figure out what am I doing here, right? And I've got to make money. Because I got my first check of $11,009 in May of 2003. And I quit my job. So I had, at the time, 2 daughters, right? Was that 2003? Yeah. I had a new daughter, my youngest daughter, and I had my oldest daughter. So I had 2 daughters. No, wait a minute. My oldest daughter, she's like, no, my youngest daughter's 20. So yeah, pretty much. I had 2 daughters. I had a baby, and I'm trying to think of time here. I had a baby and I had a toddler, right? And I had my wife, had a house payment, had cars, car payments, had bills we had to pay, and I got my first deal, and that goes pretty quick. You know what I mean? And I didn't even think YouTube was available in 2003. I went to the bookstore and I grabbed, so there wasn't ready available. I didn't have something like this, a Zoom I could get on with someone that's made millions of dollars that will, talk about this stuff and, get asked questions to and stuff like that. I didn't have that. I just went to the bookstore. I didn't have any mentor. I didn't have any, guide. It was literally me and my desk by myself. I bought this guy's course that was filmed in 1992, and it was 2003. It was filmed, basically 11 years earlier. It was in black and white, and the guy said, "Go knock on pre-foreclosure doors, sign this 2-page contract, and you can try to find a buyer for the contract, and you can make some money." That was the That was, it was this makeshift course. It was VHS tapes, if you guys know what those are, right? VHS tapes, and I bought the course. It was like $500, VHS tapes. I put them in, I listened to them, and that's all I had, and I have books, but books, there was no books back then that taught wholesaling. Even I remember my father-in-law bought a Carlton Sheets course at a garage sale, right? At a garage sale, bought a course. And he gave it to me and said, "Hey, I bought this for like $2. Here you go, Carlton Sheets." And I started looking through it. I'm like, circle ads, to find, people that want to sell properties and call them to see if they want to do seller finance. What the heck? I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. And I'm sitting in my office by myself, no leads, no marketing, no prospects of deals closing. So I didn't have any future revenue. And I got 2 kids. I'm in my house, payment, all this type of stuff, car. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So you have a choice. You either can retreat or you can, go nuts, hustle, massive action. So I want to talk about the mental side in the suck. And then I want to talk about the action side in the suck, right? So first off, in the mental side, if we collectively understand, and if we can portray this in the call, that success isn't one event. Success isn't one deal. Success isn't like winning the lottery, right? That's an event that happens and it changes your life. This business or any business, and I own 4 different businesses, every single business, you have a vision, you have a destination where you want to go, and you have suck in between. Now, the suck is the journey, right? But it's that point. So that's why they say, enjoy the journey, enjoy that process going, but if you're like me, you're impatient, right? You don't really, from Nashville to Phoenix, all that stuff in between, in my opinion, was sucked, right? I was like, let's just get me there. I just want to get there. And you want to get there too, because we're in an impatient society. So, but the thing is, we have to understand that it's not a 1-time, 2-time, or 3-time event that's going to do it, right? It's not going to get you the success you want. You're not going to blink an eye and go from where you are today to doing $100,000 a month in revenue. It's not a blink of an eye. So the question becomes, if it's not one event, what is it that is going to make the massive impact and the difference? And it's obviously mentally, but it's what we do. So here's what I've done when I'm in this situation. I look at my daily things, habits, actions, right? Daily, and you write them down. And what you go, and when you're in the, I'll take a pen right here. Take a pen right here. Here, do this with me. Take a pen and you look at it, right? And you can do this for any aspect of your life. You can do it for your health, right? You can do it for your relationship, like say with your wife or your husband, relationship, whatever. Right? Then you can do it for your business. You can do it for your wealth. And then what happens is, in each segment, there are certain repetitive things you do every single day. Now, health. you have a choice. It's a repetitive thing, and you have a choice, right? And for health, do I go to the gym, 3 days a week or 5 days a week? And that is an action you can do. Do I, eat just carbs, or do I eat just, protein, or I low carb? So these are habits. So what you do is, first off, you take health and you divide it by 2 and look at the habits. Look at the habits that got you where you are today. So you write down where you are today and you go, okay, so let's talk about, let's talk about relationship, right? We all have different relationships. You talk about relationship, you either have a great relationship with your spouse, or you have a terrible relationship with your spouse. But where are you at today? Well, I have a terrible relationship. We don't really communicate. We're not really intimate. We feel like we're roommates, all this stuff, right? And then you go, okay, what are the habits that's creating? Well, I don't tell her I love her every day. I don't compliment her. You know what I mean? I don't initiate intimacy. I walk in front of her when we're walking. So those are certain things. You don't put her needs first or his needs first over your needs, right? So those are certain habits that you do every single day. And then you go, okay, what would make my relationship with my spouse exceptional? And you go, well, every day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to give my wife a hug, and I'm going to look her in the eyes and tell her I love her, right? Every single day, or if we walk anywhere or anything like that, I'm going to make sure I hold her hand and make sure I'm going to put her needs in front of my needs, right? I'm going to initiate intimacy at least 3 times a week or whatever it is, right? And I'm just making stuff up. But now, here's the thing, is that all those now are different habits that we do every single day. And what happens is, initially, let's say you do the relationship with your spouse, they're going to be like, all right, what are you doing here? There's something different, right? And then it's going to build. Then after a month, and after 2 months, and after 5 months, and after 6 months, and after 8 months, after a year, guess what? You're going to sit down and you're going to look at your relationship and you're going to say, wow, we have an incredible relationship. You're going to have a great relationship with your spouse. You're going to have, a great communication. You're putting each other's needs first. You love them more than any time in history, because of the little daily actions, and it's called the compound effect. All right, part 1. You got through part 1. All right, so congratulations on that. I hope you enjoyed it. Part 2 is coming shortly. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button right there so you don't miss when part 2 comes out. And you can watch the other part 2, 3, and 4 as well, and any other videos we have going on. So again, if you want to learn more about Syndicate 9 Mastermind, how to become a member, how to get on these coaching calls or any of that type of stuff, click the link below for Syndicate 9. Also, too, you can watch one of a training that I recorded called Bear Market Millions, and it talks about how to go out there and crush it when the economy is crashing, the stock market's crashing, the real estate market's crashing, interest rates are rising, everything that's going on in the world right now. But it's an incredible time to do what we do to help people out of distressed situations. And if you want to learn, watch that webinar and learn how to do what we do, you can do that. The link below is Bear Market Millions. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my